April 27th. It's 10 degrees Celsius. 5 p.m. I haven't checked on the bees in a week. We're just letting them grow. They had finished up 4.5 pounds of global 15% pollen patties. I put on 2 more pollen patties at that time for a total of 7 pounds. And I treat it with Oxytet. So the bees, I'm not going to give them any more pollen patties. And I think they're about 60% sugar. So they were getting their carbohydrates through the patties, but now that I'm going to stop with the patties, they'll switch to the open feeders. And they've already finished that. So it's just a waiting game. We're letting them grow. And then the split starts the first week of May. I didn't feed inside the hive yet. If you give bees syrup inside the hive, and if you give them an open feeder at the same time, bees prefer open feed. Bees want to work, they want to fly. So I make sure they all have honey slash syrup, honey frames, and they get their carbohydrates early on through the patty. If you don't feed them, like if you don't put a bucket on them, and if you don't force feed them with a bucket, if their only source of carbohydrates is through that pollen patty, they eat more. Pollen patties are more expensive than sugar syrup, but you also want them to eat more, and that's the way to do it. This colony's had 7 pounds since 3rd week of March, so about a month. We'll see what's left. That's what's left is 7 pounds. Tomorrow I start taking out Hive, and I'll do the last treatment of Oxytet, antibiotic. That's what's left of 7 pounds. Not much. I'm not going to tear that hive apart. It's 5 p.m. and bees get really cranky this time of day. By the looks of that, I see bees here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's probably 4 frames of brood in the bottom box. 4 or 5 in the top, no doubt. That one was Italian. They also have more bees. And this is a Kona. Well, the breeder's Kona, it's a Carniolan. They're a little slower to get going, but they catch up. This colony has only had 4.5 pounds. Smell good. The Carniolans, I think, have a better pattern. In the spring, they lay the brood much tighter. I find the Italians are all spread out. This is one of the original frames to have brood on it in the center of the colony. It's hatching out and has eggs in it now. Lots of drones on the comb. There's that better pattern I was talking about. The first comb's always a terrible pattern because there's, I believe it's called heater bees. They stay in the comb, in the cell. They vibrate. That warms the comb around the brood. And I always find a terrible pattern at first. For that reason, I think. Every cell here has egg and larvae. It's falling out on my foot, the drone on the bottom. So as I finish up the apivar treatment, I'm going to do a mite count. And then that's been 40 some days. Lots of brood for the mites to reproduce. So I'm going to look at going right into another mite treatment of formic acid on the meat patties. Stay on top of the mites this year. I don't have mite problems anyway, but I'm gonna try to kill even more of them this year. The long-range forecast doesn't look good. Lots of rain. I'm hoping they got enough pollen in the comb. I can't put any more patties on. It's getting expensive. Every colony's have 4.5, and most of them have had 7. So now I'll start open feeding. These hives are heavy, but I'll feed them 1-to-1. This is a Kona or a Carniolan queen. She was put in late September, I think. She replaced an Italian queen that was starting to become drone layer. Those conas are much smaller. They're coming though. This would be their 4.5. If you watch my videos from last fall, I said I was going to leave the cage in so I could spot those very late requeens. These are Italians. This would be their 7 pounds. Much bigger population. That will all come out Monday when I take out the, tomorrow or Monday when I take out the Abraham. Put on the last round of Oxytec. Oh, where's one's at? One, two, three, four. I can't see that. 1, 2. I guess it's easier to subtract 3 than to count 7. Yeah, so splits are right around the corner. A lot of splits this year. That's good. I was still taking losses up until the other day. I didn't lose very many of my production hives. Like one in this yard, the pygmy shrew, North American pygmy shrew, killed one hive in this yard. That was the only loss. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, I'll get the official number later, I'll add up, but around 12 colonies out of 300. But my nukes, however, get you out of the sun. My nukes, I lost quite a few nukes. My fault. I starved them in August, and then it rained all September, and the only pollen flow we had was rained out. And then I fed too long, so they shut down early because that pollen flow was rained out. They shut down early, so the winter nest was there, but I kept feeding, and the winter bees worked themselves to death, and it dwindled. It wasn't mites because I had treated it with Abraham and oxalic acid. I know what I did. I killed them with kindness. I fed them too much after I starved them, so it went from bad to worse. So I think that's around 45 I lost out of 150. 50 more are very weak, and 50 or 60 are going to offer a split.